Welcome. My name is Professor Larson. This video will familiarize you with my Math 122 class. This is the front page of the Blackboard screen that is associated with this class. As you can see, you have an image of me right there, so you know what I look like. When you come into class, you'll be able to recognize me. You have my phone number right there. I have my phone on me at all times. You'll be able to call me whenever you need to. If you are watching this video, obviously you are able to get on to Blackboard. Otherwise, you wouldn't be seeing this video. But we can still look at some of the parts of Blackboard that you'll be using. You won't be using Blackboard very much. You'll use it mainly just for the beginning of the class, since I know everyone has access to Blackboard right at the very beginning of a class semester. Once we get into the semester, you will more likely be shifting to my math lab on a much more regular basis. In fact, I will not do very much with Blackboard once we get the semester going. On Blackboard is just some beginning stuff. You got the course documents. My Math Lab is a link that will take you directly to My Math Lab. If you click on the email, you'll be able to click on individual, you can send something to the entire class. You can make groups like study groups. You can send it just to students, just to the professor, that's me. You can pick specific people. It's really a very effective email tool that's available to you. Like I said, we'll be using My Math Lab almost exclusively once the semester gets going. So you just click on that and it brings it up. At this point, if you don't have it yet, you'll be going over here to register, students register right over here, and setting up your My Math Lab account. And you'll need a code from me, which I'll give you at a later time. When I have the code, then you'll get the code. But that's going to be specific to the class. I put it as a Blackboard announcement, so you can get it there. But once you get into My Math Lab, then you'll just be logging in. There we go. Now I have my username and password punched in. It took me a long time to type it in using just a stylus because I'm on a tablet PC. So I edited out for time and protection my password, but now we can continue. So when you sign in, log in, after you've registered for my class using the code that I will be giving you, then you'll come up here and it'll have your class listed, and you can click on your class. And what you'll notice is it looks very similar to the Blackboard that we came here from. You'll be able to come directly to here, just set it as a favorite. But if we get into the multimedia library, this is really cool. So in the multimedia library, you can pick any particular section you want. Let's see, what's a good section to take a look at? We'll start with number 2. Chapter 2. And we'll look at section, any particular section, doesn't matter. I don't know. So this is one of the problems I have with the textbook is the sections don't tell you what kind of math you're going to be doing. They're talking about the scenario, the situation that they're going to apply math to. But they don't tell you what kind of math you're going to be doing. And I would rather have a section telling me what kind of math we're working on. But this is what we have. Alright, so we bring up the, we find it. We clicked multimedia textbook, we find now, and then we can click down here. And it's going to bring up our textbook. It's the exact same textbook that you're carrying around with you. So you may not necessarily need to carry the textbook with you at all times, but it is still handy. This textbook is done differently than other textbooks you're used to. Over here you're going to have the objectives. This is what I would like the section title of the section to refer to. What kind of math are we going to be doing? We're going to be multiplying binomials using the FOIL method, multiplying binomials that are polynomials that are not necessarily binomials, and applying the property of exponents. This is where things get, and that's normal, that's fine. That's in all kinds of textbooks. So here's where things get different, is we start with a scenario. Last spring you put in your first garden. Since you were taking a course load, you decided to start with small, and 5 feet by 3 feet. It gives you a scenario. Then it starts asking you questions. What was the area of last spring's garden? Okay, so last spring it was 5 feet by 3 feet. So you would need to know, well, 5 times 3 is 15. And so you would write that in here. Right in the book. It's designed to be used as kind of a self-study book. You're supposed to write in it like a workbook. So you write in the 5 times 3 equals 15. You write in the answers to all the different questions that they give you. We go to the next page. Up there. Next page. And it asks you another question. It gives you a chart. You fill all these in. And the idea is, by going through this piece by piece, step by step, then by the time they get to explaining the math that they're talking about, see, now they're going to tell you this is called a product function. And then on the next page, then they're going to introduce the idea of multiplying by binomials. Now, instead of just a number being multiplied by a number, it's a quantity being multiplied by a quantity. And then they're going to show you the FOIL method. Okay, and you're going to be getting this all a little bit at a time, piece by piece. It's really important to do all this part. The entire system is based on you doing all of this. If you don't do it, if you skip it, and I know in most classes you just skip over all of this stuff and you go straight to the homework exercises. But if you do that here, you're missing out on almost everything that this book is about. This book puts, look at how many pages. This is the 6th page of this kind of stuff. And there's probably only 2 or 3 pages of actual problems, work exercises. So you're missing out on almost everything if you don't do this part. You get through all this part, and then it has a summary. This is the end of the beginning, I guess we could say, of the section. They summarize what have we talked about in this section. Then they get to the work exercises. And some of them are going to be questions that you answer in sequence again. Let's see. This is... There we go. And they do a lot of this. Number 4, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Because they're all going to be related to each other. Again, I like it when every problem is numbered separately, so I can assign a number instead of having, say, number 4, letters B and D and G or something like that. I can just list numbers. So, again, that's a difference of opinion. It makes things a little bit clumsy, I think, but we'll get through it. We did it before. We can do it again. Alright, so that was the end of the section right there on page 209. So there was 6 or 7 pages of all the workup, and then only 2 or 3 pages, like I predicted, of work exercises. So if you don't do the stuff at the beginning, you're really going to be missing out on a lot. So you want to make sure you get all that. Okay. Otherwise, it's all going to be about the way I run classes, and we'll talk more about that later, and also that'll be in the course documents. But this was my welcome video. I look forward to seeing you in class. This class, just because there's a lot that you do online does not mean we will not be meeting in person. I will be looking forward to seeing you, and you will be able to see me and compare my actual face to my self-portrait here. Yes, I drew that. And you'll be able to decide how good I was at capturing myself. See you then.